Hi everyone. Um, this is something that I'm not sure if the engine in my car is actually good or not, because something I found in a video that I did the other day, and it's just a nice short video. Like it's a YouTube short, no big deal. Posted on TikTok as well, and I uploaded it to Facebook Reels as well too. So it is everywhere. Um, but I found, well, something not great in the motor is I found a little metal chunk on the number 6 push rod. And I don't know where it's from. I couldn't find anything with the borescope today because I was looking. I could not see anything that was wrong. I could still see the cross hatching in the cylinders even. So there wasn't an issue there. That's funny. I have my hairbrush in my car actually, so I can fix my hair a little bit here because it doesn't look great. There we go. That's better. I wasn't expecting to do a live stream out here in middle of nowhere, but that's fine. I'm at my favorite spot around town, to be honest, because if you've seen my lives before, if you've gone through all of them, this is Davidson Park, and we have this awesome scenery. So, yeah, I have no viewers yet. That's okay. Oh, why is that all zoomed in? Hey, zoom out. Zoom out. Okay. There we go. That's better. But, yeah, so I found something that wasn't great inside the engine. The other day when I was changing the valve cover gasket on the car. Pretty simple job, to be honest. There's a vacuum line that gets in your way for the brake booster, but other than that, it's fine. Too bad that, like, I don't know why, like, I mean, I get why, but it's kind of annoying that there's this vacuum line that goes on the passenger side of the motor. It goes all the way over, and then it sneaks out back of the valve cover, and it gets in the way actually when you're taking the valve cover on and off. So it's just kind of a pain, but not too bad, to be honest. Wasn't that hard to change out the valve cover gasket on this, and it's no longer leaking oil, so there's that. But I did buy some. Also, I do use this stuff. Some Super Clean today, engine degreaser, just to see, because there's still a bunch of oil on the motor, so I just wanted to clean it. But yeah, it's something that I found inside the engine though, because when I was doing that on the number 6 push rod, there was a metal chunk. I don't know where from. I have no idea where that came from. And like I said, I used a borescope, couldn't find anything. With that, I still saw the cross hatching on the cylinder even. So on cylinder 6. I didn't check the other cylinders. I just checked cylinder 6 because that's where the piece of metal was on number 6 push rod. So, yeah, but this car honestly still runs fine. I don't have any issues in that regard. Like, I don't know what could actually be the issue. Like, could the cam be slowly eating itself? Could that be part of a piston ring maybe that is melted? Which I don't think so. It was a little too big for that, a little too thin. But yeah, I don't know, and I am a little worried because this is the reliable car. This is not supposed to be the one that breaks down. This is the nice inline 6 and everything, but she still runs just fine. So I don't know. And I will have to contact my buddy Keith and see about getting up there in the next week or so we can pull the oil pan off this thing and take a look. Because I'm worried. I am genuinely worried that this motor could be on its way out. And if it is, I don't have a car. Because the Civic's not on the road yet. And the convertible, well, she's having issues too right now. I still need to swap out the distributor, which trying to figure out the wiring on that. It's a bit of a pain, so that's why it hasn't been done yet. There's been no videos on that yet. Because I wanted to do that yet the other day, like over the weekend, but I was looking at the stock coil and seeing 4 wires going into it. I'm like, okay, why is there 4? There should only be like 2, maybe 3, because one of those is gonna be the tack, one should be power, and then maybe have a third for our ground. That's it. But it has 4, which there's 2 red, a green, and a black. So it's like, okay, green is clearly going to be the tack. One of those reds is going to be power. I don't know what the other red is for. So yeah, it's a mess of wiring. I'm not a fan of, like, what should have been done when that motor was swapped. And again, I didn't do the swap. Is swapping out the harness for our carbureted harness. That should have been one of the number one things to do, because there are just so many extra wires and stuff that are just all over the place in that engine bay. And there's connections that are no longer connected because it's no longer fuel injected. So it's carbureted now. So yeah, it is a thing that I am, thinking about. And yeah, I don't know. But then now with the troubles with this thing, it's like, does this motor need a rebuild? And because I'm not getting rid of the inline six, people will tell me to swap it. I'm not going to. I'd much rather get this thing to a machine shop, have them bore it out, put new pistons in it, deck the head, sort of thing, right? Up the compression, make this thing really awesome that way. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Because, and like, it's something I want to do with this thing as well, because I've got that short shifter for a T5. I do want to put the T5 in it. Found a guy that'll, he's just going to donate me the pedals. I just got to go pick him up, which is fine. I have no issues doing that. He's up in, I think, Red Deer. We were going to swap pedals. Like, I was going to swap him my automatic pedals for his manual pedals, because he wants to go to an automatic, which, is fine. To each their own. But the problem was that, well, okay, I would need to put those pedals, like, I'd have to remove the pedals from this, even though I'm driving it, to put in the manual ones, which you can actually use the manual pedals on an automatic. There isn't much of an issue there. I just didn't want to do that while, the car's still driving around and stuff like that. But yeah, because this C4 automatic's going to get swapped out for a T5. And I do want to put an 8.8 in this thing. People will say, well, that's overkill. I just like, I mean, I don't care, because I'd much rather have it overbuilt than underbuilt. I don't want to have to deal with stuff. And the one thing is, I'm actually looking at a guy over there. Maybe it might be a girl. Not sure. But they have a cat with them. Let me just zoom in on that. I don't know if you guys can see that. There we go. You can see a guy over there. He's got a cat with him. Perhaps it's a girl. I can't tell from back here. But yeah, you can see them right right there. It's almost like spotting for Bigfoot. Okay, zoom back out. There we go. And then go back to my face. So yeah, I am worried about this engine, and if it'll have to be sent out and rebuilt. Because I have do I have the money? Yes, but do I really? No, I don't. Because in this engine rebuild could cost upwards of like $3 or $4 grand, right? Potentially even more than that, because it is an old 200 inline six. The parts aren't readily available to do that. And and if I was gonna do it, I would send this thing out and get it built, not just rebuilt to stock. So, because what's the point? If you're gonna rebuild a motor back to stock, there's no point. Just build it out at that point. Because not like this is this is a rare numbers matching car. I mean, it is, but it's not like one of these things where it's super valuable or anything. Because it's not. This car, I've had offers of $6 grand on it, which I have not accepted because I love my car too much. which actually I have more than that in it, to be honest, which surprises me. Like, you think about, money you have in vehicles, but yeah, no, this thing has a lot of money into it. In the nearly 3 years I've owned it. So actually, no, I have owned this thing for 3 years, over 3 years now. So yeah, we'll see what happens here. Not too sure, cause yeah, I am a little worried. There's nothing I could do. Oh, for sure. Like, and I do want to do that on my 86. At least with the wiring harness. Like, I do want to swap out the harness for our carbureted harness, just brand new. Not worry about it. And yeah, and then just have the added components of it for a for air conditioning and cruise control. Yeah. Oh, and see, and I'm gonna say I don't want to when I sell cars on to people. Now, don't get me wrong, the cars that I have sold, like the van, for example, I really didn't do much of that thing. All I did was change the oil. That's it. Like I changed the oil, I changed the taillight bulb, and drove it. And that van was awesome. I missed that van. I wish I would have kept it, but then again, I wouldn't be where I'm at now if I still had that van. So there's that. But that van, it ran and drove amazing. Like, there was new tires put on it, which I didn't actually pay for those tires. That was Greg that paid for those. Because we were flipping, like, we pulled the van out, because I didn't know about it actually until he told me. And I go to look at this thing and I find the keys for it. And I'm like, let's revive this one next. And that video series actually did pretty well. I think I had 4 videos on this thing, and yeah, it's the only revival series that I've technically had, because I don't even consider the series I've done on this to be a revival. It's being a revival on the Honda. Because like this thing, the thing is, when I got this thing, it ran and drove. So not well, but it did run and drive. And I did not film every single process I did on this car in the beginning, which I should have. I really should have, but I did not. Like I didn't show getting the spark plugs out. I didn't show, swapping all the parts out and finding all these date coded parts. I wish I did. And I wish I kept some of those date coded parts too, because like the spark plugs I pulled out of it were date coded to 81. It's pretty neat. Like that's why this thing barely ran, because it had the original plugs in it. Original plugs, plug wires. I had to get a new starter solenoid for it. And yeah, although actually I may not have needed a new starter solenoid, to be honest. The other starter solenoid was probably fine. It's just the one thing is, when they're not getting enough voltage to it, it will just click, right? It'll click and clack and be annoying. There we go. And do that. But what was I gonna say? I totally lost what I was saying. Sorry. But yeah, so like the engine on this, I don't know. But like, and because this engine could be pushed. The 86, I still need to do wiring on it and swap in that distributor. Because once that distributor swapped in, and once I get my other parts, which should be here this week, I can finish it, and it should be great. So we'll see what happens with that. And if this thing goes down, I don't have another vehicle. Like, because until Lilo is fixed, I don't have a vehicle. So the only vehicle I have is like, okay, I can borrow my dad's Magnum, but it's not ideal. Don't get me wrong, his Magnum's fine. I don't have any gripes with it, but it's not my car, right? So yeah, all the more reason though to try and get the Civic on the road too. But yeah, because we'll see. Because once that gas tank is cleaned out and finished, we'll be good with that. It should run and drive, but then we'll need to fix the brakes, and swap out some bushings, and it might be ready for an inspection. Well, actually, and do the exhaust too, because it's got no exhaust on it. But all in, I'll probably look at, I don't know, like 2 or 3 days of work, and that thing should be on the road again. I still haven't swapped the oil out in it, but I do have oil. I have a filter for it. I just don't have the oil anymore because I used it. So yeah, but anyways, we'll see what happens with this thing. So, but anyways, yeah, I don't really have anything else to say, so I will let you all go. Thank you all so much for watching, and I love you all, and hope that your project is going better than mine, or projects, as the case may be with me. But yeah, anyways, I will, unless there's some interaction here in a little bit, I'll probably just end this because, yeah, it's getting harder to do these live streams by myself like this. So I'll need to get some people in, which I do have a webcam now, which I need to actually get that back from Ellen. So I'll have to text her and be like, hey, what's going on with my webcam? But anyways, thank you all. I appreciate you all. I love you all. And ciao.